that's a beautiful song that we are going to be singing when the 2022 African Cup of Nations qualifiers for the women starts very, very soon, because we'll be having the draws on Monday, and that will take place in Cairo, in Egypt, the CAF headquarters. That's what we are getting right now as far as the 2022 African Women's Cup of Nations qualifiers are concerned. And remember, the Giants of Africa, as far as women's football is concerned, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they have won this competition 9 times. So on Monday, we'll know their opponents, and they're looking forward to how they are going to fare in the qualifiers proper. And also, we've also been told that CAF will also conduct 2 more draws on Monday, which one for the qualifiers for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, and also that will take place in India, and also the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, Costa Rica 2022. So that's what we're looking at. And also, Cinema Kelechi Iheanacho is in the running for 2 awards. One, goal of the month of April award, and also the player of the month. Remember, last time out, following his fantastic performances, he was able to win the player of the month. So he continued, and we'll be telling you how far it's going to go. Then for Eden Hazard, despite Chelsea winning yesterday to go through to the Champions League final, Eden Hazard has apologized to Real Madrid fans because they saw him laughing with Chelsea players after the match. So the Feds the Feds offended, and right now he has apologized to them, saying that will never happen. And in boxing, Floyd Mayweather bros with Jake Paul at Logan Paul promotional event. Good evening and welcome to Sports Fiesta, and it is live on the 2.7 KBFM down here in Benin City. My name is Yagusa. You can come in the Sports Maestro and you'll be right there on point. I've got with me Nancy as well as Salih Ibrahim, the Ibracadabra of Sports. Guys, good evening, and let's begin from what to expect on Monday when the CAF draws for the African Women's Cup of Nations. We be held right there in Cairo, and we have also been told that that's qualifiers, or rather the tournament, will serve as the qualifiers for the FIFA Women's World Cup. Guys, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Egosa. Well, the event will be held in closed doors as expected. And then it's a good thing, though, that it will be used as a qualifier for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup that will be co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
And then the countries that will get to the semi-finals will be guaranteed automatic qualification for the World Cup. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for the for our female team to for the Super Falcons to actually get to the World Cup, because I feel like this team, they've got so much potentials, especially with Asisat on their side and with her current form in Barcelona. So I am really, really hopeful that we'll get there and get to the World Cup, hopefully.
Well, it's been a long time that we had the Africa Women Cup of Nations. Because of COVID, we ought to have played at least one more edition. Last time Nigeria won it was in 2018, and you know it's a competition that comes up every 2 years. So by 2020 we ought to have had another one, but unfortunately due to COVID and the congestion of the calendar, we are no longer going to have this. So it will be great that they are going to use the qualifiers. We are going to have the qualifiers in May, and then their performance at that competition would indicate the teams that will qualify for the World Cup proper. I recall many years back when Nigeria was struggling to qualify for the World Cup. I was thinking, why don't they use the Africa Cup of Nations? Because former Minister of Sports, God bless his soul, Anthony Hazobo, once famously said that qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations was Nigeria's birthright. But if he were alive today, I mean, he would be really sad that there were a couple of occasions when Nigeria fails to qualify. Remember, that's why they even brought on Ginat Roa, and he has qualified us now for back-to-back Africa Cup of Nations. So that period, Nigeria was always qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations, but we were unable to qualify for the World Cup. Either Cameroon will beat us to it, or Ghana will eliminate us, or Tunisia or Algeria. We're always running into trouble. When it was just 2 countries qualifying from Africa, then the made it to 3. The first time it became 3 countries from Africa. That was the first time Nigeria qualified in 1994. So for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations and the Women's World Cup, the qualifiers are supposed to be different, but because of the fixtures, congestion and everything, I think CAF just thought it in their wisdom. And we've seen this in the past. They've used some qualifiers. There have been times in the past when they've used the Continental Championship to determine the qualifiers for a particular competition. So it will be good to see. And look, whatever format they adopt, I am absolutely confident that Nigeria is going to qualify, because honestly, when it comes to women's football in Africa, no country comes close to Nigeria. You know, the African Women Cup of Nations has been played 11 times officially in this current format. Nigeria has won it 9 times. The only other country that has won the competition is Equatorial Guinea. They won it twice. So we have absolutely no worries about how we're going to qualify. But we must be wary, because we failed to qualify for the Olympic Games for the women. Remember, our team did not qualify. I think we were eliminated by Cameroon on penalties. So it tells you that aura of invincibility that used to surround the women's national team, especially the Super Falcons. I know we've got the under-20, and also we've got the under-17, the Flamingos, and the Super Falcons. But for the Super Falcons, they have enjoyed that dominance for a very long time. Yeah, however, if you look at even the last Africa Cup of Nations, we played against Cameroon in the semi-final. We beat them on penalties. We played against South Africa in the final. We beat them on penalties. Normally, the Super Falcons of old will beat Cameroon 5-0 in the quarterfinals. Go and beat South Africa in the final. Beat them 2-0 in their home ground and all that. But you begin to see now that it seems the rest of Africa is catching up with us. And you are at the top, you've got to try as much as possible to elevate your level. So I am happy that we've got a good conveyor belt that produces quality footballers for the national team. Asisat Oshoala, you will say she is the main woman in that squad, but you've got Monday Gift coming up. You've got Rashidat Ajibade also coming through. You've got some other players that are coming through. So the whole thing is not just left to Asisat Oshoala to do. It has never been in the national team that you have just one player. You say, oh, this is the only player that we have in the women's national team. No, we've always had many of them. And for the past couple of years, it's been Asisat, the biggest shining star, but Francisca Odega has always been there. And now we have Rashidat Ajibade, we have Monday Gift, we have some other players who are coming through. So I am confident that Nigeria will go to the Africa Women Cup of Nations and still win, but we must not be overconfident. We must understand that when a team is able to hold you to the point that you go to the penalty shootout. It's a lottery. It's a coin toss. Anything can happen. It's heads or tail. We've seen it happen several times. You know clearly that this team is better than the other team. But once that team that is the underdog is able to get to the penalty shootout, they could win. Yeah, so with what happened at the last Africa Cup of Nations, even when we had a foreign technical advisor, we must understand that the rest of Africa has also come of age. So we've got to try and improve. But having said all that, I'll still tell you, Nigeria will qualify for the World Cup. Nigeria will win the next Africa Cup of Nations.
All right, we want them not to only qualify, but go to the World Cup and dominate, because they've dominated in Africa so much. Okay, moving from that Super Falcons story, quickly let's talk about this revelation. And this is coming from former Super Eagles player and coach, talking about Sunday Olise, former captain, former coach. He has revealed how star striker Rashidi Yekini, God rest his soul, shockingly went on his knees to beg his teammates for support ahead of the FIFA World Cup in Tunisia '94. Remember, before then, he won the African Footballer of the Year in 1993, and his goals were really, really instrumental to us qualifying for the 1994 World Cup. But before the World Cup, I think Olise said there was this thinking from Rashidi Yekini that there's a gang up against him, that if he doesn't go on to beg these guys, maybe at the World Cup, scoring the first goal and also doing very well at the World Cup could be very difficult for Yekini. So he said when they were having a meeting, Rashidi Yekini went on his knees to beg them that whoever he has offended, as they are living now for the World Cup, whatever he has done, whoever he has offended, that they should just forgive and they should go as a team, and so that they could be able to do very well. He said he was shocked because he wasn't long.
Olise was just coming into the national team.
Yeah, he said
he broke into that team in 1993, and what he's talking about happened in 1994. And I've heard Rashidi Yekini say a couple of times that Sunday Olise is his kind of player. He doesn't waste time with the ball. He just passes it straight. And if not that, Yekini, although he was the highest goal scorer at the Tunisia 94 World Africa Cup of Nations, and he was even the tournament most valuable player in 1994, but he wasn't at his clinical best at that competition. He would have scored many more goals from passes that Sunday Olise gave him, especially in the semi-final against Cote d'Ivoire. There were so many chances that Olise created for him, and Olise, that his accurate pass. Olise was so good that you could drop, as Godwin Rume used to analyze it, you could drop 10 kobo somewhere and ask Olise to cross the ball and drop it. The same kind of thing that Finidi John was doing, but Olise's own was from the midfield. He could hit a diagonal pass 35 meters, and it will get to the place that he intended it. You watched our first game against Gabon in Tunisia 94, the goal that Yekini scored. It was Olise that gave him that pass, the first goal that he scored, where he hit the ball over the goalkeeper and then nodded it. It was Olise that gave him the pass. The goal that Mutiu Adepoju scored, the second goal, it was also Olise that gave him that pass. Although that was more routine, it was close. But the one that he gave to Yekini was lead from midfield and lobbed the ball and so on. And he did that. The final, the goal that Emmanuel Amunike scored, the one that won the African Cup of Nations for Nigeria, was from Sunday Olise, deep in midfield. He crossed the ball. And recently, when they celebrated the 25th anniversary of that Tunisia 94 USA 94 squad, Sunday Olise said something about Rashid Yekini, and he said, look, God rest his soul. He said Yekini will say, Sonny, Madam Olon, Shama Ju, not see me, saying like, look, don't mind whatever they are doing in this midfield. You just knock the ball to me, and I'll do the rest. And that was what he was doing. So Rashid Yekini and Sunday Olise had a very good relationship. But maybe that was just because Yekini was just coming into the national team. We heard that team was very close and everything, but unfortunately, we also heard about the Eagles Mafia. We had that a lot in those days. And we heard also that there were issues. Sometimes some people became jealous and okay, well, you see, because we're passing the ball to him, that's why he's scoring goals and all of that. And I personally had Rashidi Yekini in an interview. That was after USA 94, after Tunisia 94. We were thinking it was the build-up to the South Africa 96 Africa Cup of Nations, which we did not eventually go to. We didn't attend. I'm sure Rashidi Yekini would have, because then he was just 2 goals behind even one goal. He was on 13 goals while Laurent Kpoko was on 14 goals. He would have been the highest scorer in the history of the Africa Cup of Nations before Samuel Eto'o eventually broke that record. But because we didn't go, so Yekini did not get enough opportunities. So in one of the matches that was played, Yekini complained. Journalists were asking him, and he was asking them back, can't you see that they are not passing the ball to me? I listened to Uche Okafor, God rest his soul. But Uche Okafor said that one of the most unfortunate things, it's shocking because it's really contradictory. Even if you ask me today, I'll tell you that's one of the highlights of Nigeria's achievement in international football, winning the goal at Atlanta 96.
Yeah.
But Uche Okafor said that was one of the worst things to happen to Nigerian football, or maybe to their generation of players, because he said those who were at Atlanta 96, there were some players who were at Tunisia 94 and USA 94, and they also went to Atlanta 96.
Yes, overage players.
Austin Okocha, Uche Okafor, Daniel Amokachi, Emmanuel Amonike.
Okay.
These guys were at the Africa
Nations Cup.
Yes, Sunday Olise. They were there at the Nations Cup in 94 and the World Cup, and then they also went to Atlanta 96. Then they now had some other players who joined them. Uche Okechukwu was also there. They now had some other players, new players coming through. The Celestine Babayaro and the rest of them just now joined them to the Atlanta 96. The Kano Wanko, Victor Ikpeba was also to the 94 Atlanta 96. So he said that the moment they returned, after they won the gold, I'm not saying that this is what is being alleged. What Uche Okafor said in an interview, that when they returned from the
from Atlanta,
that squad that went to France 98 wasn't as united as the team that went to USA 94. Sure. Because in between, we had Tunisia 94, USA 94, then we had Atlanta 96, and then we had France 98. So Atlanta 96 happened in between the two tournaments. So he said that there was now a marked division in the national team. And at that point, Stephen Keshi had left. So maybe if he had been there, his leadership would have been able to
count things down.
Yeah. So he said that those that went to Atlanta 96 saw themselves as they started segregating. They didn't want to mix up. Uche Okafor said this, that they did not want to mix up with these other guys. They were seeing themselves as better than those. If you were in USA 94 and Tunisia 94, but just because you did not go to Atlanta 96, they now form a different clique. That it was an issue. So that was what Rashidi Yekini apparently, because he must have heard some things or seen some things after Tunisia 94, and that's why he was begging that, please, if I've offended you, pass the ball to me, and all of that. So unfortunately, sometimes these things happen in football. So maybe if we have the time, we could also ask Austin Egwabo, who was part of the Tunisia 94 and USA 94 squad, but wasn't in Atlanta 96. Finidi George was in Tunisia 94, USA 94. He wasn't in Atlanta 96. Goalkeeper Peter Rufai and Aloy Agu, they were Tunisia 94, USA 94. They did not go to Atlanta 96. But later we saw that they all came together, or many of them were together in France 98. But you know that France 98 team had serious issues. There were issues. We saw how they lost to Denmark in the round of 16 and everything. So I believe it was some of these cracks in the team. That was what Yekini was already foreseeing, and that's why he pleaded with them that please let us be united, and if there is anybody that have offended, just pass the ball to me and let us. There was one, as I mentioned earlier, when he said, can't you see that they were not passing the ball to me? He said it. Rashid Yekini, I heard him say that, complaining that, can't you see that they were not passing the ball to me? And we had some. He was with them at France 98, and after that, that was the last time he played for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But all these things are in the past now. We can only start going forward, and I hope that we can have that kind of bond that we had in the team in Tunisia 94 and USA 94, because that period was our best. Tunisia 94, USA 94, Atlanta 96. That was our best couple of years in international football. So I hope we could go back to that, and I hope we have the kind of personalities that would be able to stop that from happening, ensuring that there is unity and people get to pass the ball when you have to, because if you do not do that, then what's the difference between you and secondary school children playing football? And one would just, out of pettiness, I will not pass the ball. Shena, because I pass to you, they score, they shine. I will not pass the ball to you. We are talking your national team, your national pride is at stake.
Even if he wins
the
Africa Player of the Year award and he doesn't share the money amongst you guys, come on, that's not enough to say. Because Olise was saying this in his new biography. Audacity
to refuse. Yes, I would love to get a copy of that, because I know that there will be some explosive revelations in that book. And Sunday Olise, even when he was playing, you could tell that he was on a different intellectual level. And look, Sunday Olise, Austin Egwabo, those were two guys that I loved listening to in those days of Tunisia 94 and USA 94. When you had them speak, the way they could. One of the figures I respect the most in sports journalism is, of course, Larry Zamuje, Dr. Larry Zamuje, the owner of Brilla FM. I mean, some of us when we were growing up, listening to him talk, listening to people like Godwin Dudu Orume, who was doing the best of football. You learned so much from them. And there was this interview that Sunday Olise, he was the captain of the team then at Ghana Nigeria 2000, and they were asking him questions, and the way he was responding. So for Dr. Larry Zamuje was so impressed, and when they called to him, when the director called to him in the studio, because they played the interview during his show, it was you could tell that he enjoyed how Sunday Olise
was responding to questions.
Yes, was responding to the question, and you say, man, you could just see the way he was giving it to them. Any question they would just ask, he would give it to them.
Confident.
So yeah, so he's somebody that I respect intellectually, the way he talks, the way he does his things, the way he thinks. Although sometimes in this part of the world, when you do some things, people might have issues with it. And that's why he didn't succeed in the national team, because the radical ideas that he was bringing, many people didn't agree with it. Some of the things he did, some of the policies he wanted to implement. He came, his first interview when they called him the Pep Guardiola of Africa. He said, look, if you are not playing for your first team, and it is not just from, there are some countries that will not even invite players from. We don't care whether you are playing in the top division there. If it is not from these countries, then you are not good enough to play for the Super Eagles. And I believe all of those made him had some issues, and eventually he just felt, look,
the system is not
anymore. And then that's why he was unable to succeed. Well, he didn't fail as the national team coach. He resigned. Not that he failed to qualify for a competition and he was sacked. No, he resigned midway and just said, look, I'm not doing this anymore. So. The audacity to refuse is a book that I would really love to get, because I know there will be
so much revelations,
things said in that book.
All right, let's go on this break. When we come back, we'll talk about club football. Hang on.
100% pure cooking oil. Family meal times have been so rewarding. You see, Mamado 100% pure cooking oil is cholesterol free and contains omega-6 and 9, proven to keep heart healthy. Not only that, it also makes my food taste delicious.
You sure know how to take care of my stomach.
And your heart, especially. Switch to Mamado and enjoy healthy and tasty meals. Mamado is tested and approved by the Nigerian Heart Foundation. Cook with Mamado. Your heart will thank you.
Oh yes, Nasco quality cornflakes are so full of nourishing goodness because they are whole-flaked cornflakes. Whole-flaked cornflakes are made by a natural flaking process that retains all the natural goodness of the whole corn for whole nutrition, whole taste, and whole crunchiness for the whole family. So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole-flaked Nasco cornflakes. Nasco cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
All right, welcome back. And in case you're just joining us, it's Sports We Start reaching you live on a 2.7 KUFM down here in Benin City. With me, Egusa Egbek and the Sports Maestro, Salih Ibrahim, the Brakadabra Sports, and Nancy. Before we went to the break, we told you what to expect on Monday when the draws are ahead for the African Women's Cup of Nations in 2022. So those are the draws, as well as that of on the under 20 and under 17 FIFA World Cup. The draws will also be held on Monday. So we just told you what to expect, and also the revelation from the Super Eagles squad of 1994 coming out from Sunday Olise in his new autobiography, Audacity to Refuse. Now let's move on to Europe, and let's begin from cinema. I don't know. This guy said that this soap is a different one, but I can't wait to see him win something great. You know, these guys are comedians. He's been nominated right now for 2 awards, and one is the Player of the Month of April, as well as the Goal of the Month. Well, the month of April, the month under review, is called a couple of goals, and those goals came. Two came against West Ham United, and he followed them up with goals in wins over West Bromwich Albion and Crystal Palace. But the one that was nominated for the goal of the month was that winner against Crystal Palace. That goal, he just turned and it was a thunderbolt, to the rooftop, and that was the winner for them at Sears Park. So it reminds me of one of the goals he scored as at the World Cup, as an under 17. So fantastic, and he'll be competing with other guys. And for the player of the month shortlist, he will be competing with Trent Alexander-Arnold of Liverpool, Stuart Dallas, Leeds United, Mason Greenwood, Manchester United, Jesse Lingard, West Ham United, Matheus Pereira, West Bromwich Albion, Alan Saint-Maximin of Newcastle United, and Chris Wood, Burnley. These are the...
Yeah, I think Kelechi Iheanacho deserves to be the Premier League Player of the Month back-to-back. I think the only match that he failed to score in this period under review was their last game, and even then he got an assist. Unfortunately for him, he handled the ball, and that led to a penalty against them, but he was still able to get an assist in that match. I'll be really delighted if he's able to win it back-to-back, and he will become, I think, the second Nigerian to win it on more than one occasion. The first will be, if my memory serves me right, he won it 3 times. When he was playing for West Bromwich Albion. So I hope that Kelechi Iheanacho gets to win this. It's been a great season for him, the best season of his career since he went to England, became pro, and started playing in England. So I think he's done enough. I think he's done enough in the months to win the award, and I'll be super delighted if he can get it. He's still got an FA Cup final to play. Good luck to him in the final. But Chelsea, the way they are playing right now, you've got to make them the favourites. But you shouldn't put anything past Leicester City, and they're still in with a very good chance of making it to the Champions League. All they have to do is to ensure they don't drop below the 4th position, and so I think it's good. Chelsea has still got an opportunity, even if they don't make the top 4. They have to win the Champions League, and then they will still be playing, and that will knock Leicester City off if they finish 4th. But right now they are 3rd, so I'm hopeful that they will make the Champions League. It will be great for Kelechi Iheanacho to be playing Champions League football. They're already guaranteed of European football next season. Yeah, because they are in the final of the FA Cup. So no matter what happens, they should be in at least the Europa League. But the one they want is the Champions League. So let's see what they will be able to achieve.
All right, voting is open now and closed at 6 p.m. on Monday, the 10th of May. So that's what we've got. And from there, let's move over to Spain, where this guy was a mini-god demigod rather while he was at Chelsea. Yeah, considering the amount of goals, the assists, and everything he won with Chelsea. But when he made the dream move to Real Madrid, things have not been going the way he wanted. So he played against Chelsea, and we were sent packing from the UEFA Champions League. And just because he laughed with Chelsea players, come on, the fans of Real Madrid felt it wasn't professional enough, and that angered them and all that. But he has come out to apologize, and he has apologized to the fans, and that was on Instagram. He said it wasn't my intention to offend Real Madrid fans. That's quoting Hazard right now, because he was also substituted before full time after failing to have an impact on the game. But at the end of the day, just because he was seen joking and smiling with his former teammates at the final whistle, the fans weren't really happy about that. Well, sometimes it's one of those things when you move from a club to the other club, and by the time you meet your former club and all that, sometimes after the final whistle, you see them exchanging jerseys, laughing and joking about maybe Madrid fans.
It was too much.
It was too much.
It was too much, because
was it as if he was happy that the Los Blancos have been pushed aside out of the competition by Chelsea, or what?
It was the way he was interacting with the others. Because after a loss like that, I mean,
you should put your head down.
At least just show remorse that, oh God, like I'm sad or anything. But he was shaking hands, laughing. Like it was too much.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything like sabotage on the part of Eden Hazard, but you see, the optics of it wasn't positive. I mean, if I were a Real Madrid fan, I would be upset at that because you just lost the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League. This is the biggest competition in club football in the world, not just in Europe. So you should be feeling sad that you've lost. I know that as a sportsman, you should be prepared to take anything. You should be prepared for a loss because it can happen, and that's how life is. But when you lose a match like that, at least you're supposed to. Nobody says you should not interact with your former teammates, even if it were your brothers. Even we've seen occasions now. Eden Hazard has a brother. He has brothers, in fact. Kylian Hazard, there is Torgan Hazard playing for Borussia Dortmund. So even if they play against Borussia Dortmund and it was Borussia Dortmund that eliminated them, you should not say, "Oh, this is my brother." Even if it were your twin brother, you should not just go and start celebrating with him and laughing. As I said, look, normally it should be nothing, but if you had, nobody's saying do not mingle with your former teammates, but go and shake hands and just move. Just like you can guys, later on, I thought maybe you could tell them we wanted to get to the final, but you guys have eliminated us, and they were, "Oh, sorry, guy, don't worry." They hugged it up. We have seen players crying because they were eliminated, and others went to them to console them. So everybody understands that you cannot win every match. You will lose. You are bound to, no matter how good you are. I've not seen that team that has never lost a game. You will lose once in a while. But then how you react after losing. Of course, nobody is saying you should be wailing and rolling on the floor and renting your clothes like somebody has died or anything like that. But at least the way you would react, he did not show that. Maybe he got carried away. Maybe he forgot. As I said, I don't think that there was any deliberate attempt to mock Real Madrid. Of course, he's not living them. He's now their player. And I don't know what somebody said to him, but maybe somebody said, "Oh boy, the thing where they make you the run, go. You won't go win Champions League. Now, we don't get final." Maybe that was what was said, and that was why he laughed. But he ought to have known that
as a professional,
and that everything is being captured now. There are so many cameras that you can't hide anymore, and that's why people cover their mouths to talk because they are watching. So he should have known that wasn't the place. That wasn't the place to be laughing with Chelsea players because they were laughing at a joke. They were saying that. So you just lost the biggest. What was supposed to be the biggest game of the season, and you are reacting that way. I understand how Real Madrid fans are feeling, and it is good that Eden Hazard has come out to apologize and explain that. Look, I'm sorry, but it's just part of the moment and all of that. But it's not something that you would want to see. If a super good player will lose in the semi-final of the Africa Cup of Nations, and maybe because you are playing in the same club with one player that is in the other team, and you now are laughing, I'll be upset. I would say the person was not professional. So because of that, you have to condemn what Eden Hazard did, even though we know that as sportsmen, you should understand that, okay, you can lose any match and you don't have to kill yourself simply because you lost. But he should have known. He should have known and should have reacted differently. I hope he learns so that next time, even if he's going to go and meet them in their dressing room. Go and meet where nobody will see you. Go and meet them and laugh and do whatever, fine, but not in public like that.
All right, before we start taking the calls, let's quickly talk about this. Floyd Mayweather, he had a brawl with Jake Paul, the brother of YouTuber Logan Paul, during their promotional events. And what the guy did really angered Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, he was held back by his entourage. If not, it would have resolved into blows because he was just talking and the guy, they were just talking. The guy just took his hat and he ran away. And look at the way Mayweather reacted. And he said he did that because Mayweather has been stealing people's money with boring fights. Come on, your brother has not met this guy. They've not fought. Let him know, your brother, even if the Logan gets to knock him out, it's not a competitive fight, it's an exhibition, so he's still undefeated. So that was what's happened today. But I'm going to watch how he's going to react by the time he takes to the ring with Jake's brother, Logan.
But I don't know how much of this is real and how much is to promote the fights. They do things like this.
That's what I think.
They do things like this. They'll tell you, okay, let's introduce an element into it that will shock everybody. You know, so I'm not too carried away because we've seen this. We've even seen brawls in the past. Heavyweight boxing, just to brawl. They scatter the whole stage. You see the bottles being smashed and everything. And later, maybe years later, you get to understand that that thing was there. They planned it, you know. So it's good to promote the fight and everything. But for somebody to steal, it's stealing in quotes because everybody saw that he took the car and he's saying I'm doing it because I've been stealing people's money with body fights and all of that. When he had his that was actually a professional fight with. Conor McGregor, they did some things like this. They said certain things, and all that. So I think it's just to promote the fight, but I am not convinced as to the authenticity of what actually happened. Is it real? Is it kayfabe as we have in professional wrestling? Is it something that was scripted? Did they plot how that whole thing is going to work out? So that's just it.
All right, guys, join us on 070-6263-9275, 090-3939-4427, and 081-2178-9154. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to Sports Fiesta. Your name and your location.
Good evening, good evening. Nancy, good evening.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
Good evening, sir. This is calling from Kuku.
Okay.
How do you from Delta State this night?
You're welcome. Go ahead.
I really enjoy your program.
Thank you.
Nancy, Chelsea still qualified, still win Madrid finally. I hope you are willing to see to that.
No, I'm not.
You always get against Chelsea. I don't know why.
I'm not against Chelsea, please.
You always against Chelsea. Now, Azza is laughing with other players. You stay against it. Everybody's against it.
Real Madrid fans.
Which means like Madrid fans, then. Who Madrid fans?
Go ahead, my brother.
Guys, why?
Well done.
How do you see the performance of Chelsea now with Madrid? I'm not confident.
It was we analyzed this was it yesterday?
Yeah.
It was a fantastic performance, absolutely out of this world. Chelsea showed tremendous character, and maybe the only surprising thing from that match was that it ended 2-0, which is shocking to really decipher, because we are talking about Real Madrid, we are talking about the most successful team in the history of the UEFA Champions League. Chelsea schooled them in that second leg. It should have been maybe
5-6,
6-1, 6-2, because Real Madrid also had chances, but I think Chelsea had the more clear-cut chances.
Okay, I want to talk about Jose Mourinho. I think he has another job now. I wish him all the best. Jose is a good state here. We are not ready for Wales too. We don't know whether he travel.
Okay, just say he's back. Maybe you've not listened to our show on a couple of occasions. He's back. You hear from him very soon.
Okay, I wish you all the best. I wish KW FM all the best. I really enjoy you people. God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Hello. Hello. All right, guys, keep the calls coming, and also you can send your SMS to 080-7400-9076. Hello. Hello, good evening. Yeah, you're on to Sports Fiesta on KUFM. What's your name?
My name is Goddy. Please, I wasn't around it. I want to find out the issue that was concerning and the FIFA from years back. That was
we don't have the latest update concerning Subsidiary and the FIFA ban. If we have, we'll let you know.
What was the issue?
Hello? We don't have the latest updates now. The case is still on. It hasn't ended. So by the time we have the latest update, we will let you know. Hello. Hello, good evening. I picked a call.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah. Hello, come again.
Hello, good evening. This is
Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
No, we already have it.
We already have Jose Mourinho. Is it?
No. This is Jose Mourinho calling from medical.
Okay, a medical version. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to really say, Chelsea really made my day, and I was really happy. But the truth is this: there's something I found out recently, and I think football has emerged that the tactical battles of football these days belongs to the drama stage. I can really say they are doing marvelously well. I for one that I never really expected Thomas Tuchel to have done this marvelous job he has done at Chelsea. And for one, I've been following the German club and the German coach. I can see that their issues they are living in football will last for a long time. I can really say that.
All right, are you done?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, brother. Your name and your location.
Okay, my name is Tony.
Okay, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Kobahi.
Go ahead.
I want to try like concerning what happened to concerning my team, Arsenal.
Okay, what happened yesterday? Are you a gunner? Are you a gunner?
Yeah, great Arsenal, very great one.
Okay.
Well, I felt very bad yesterday with what happened to Arsenal yesterday, because I don't really know the kind of information Arteta is longer using in Arsenal. You know, that squad, that Arsenal team is not a team that someone can write anything about in different as Arteta. And I will not blame Arteta much, because even the board, I don't really know what the board is doing concerning Arsenal. For over many years I've supported Arsenal. I see nothing good coming out on Arsenal. Why I said I will not blame Arteta much, because they are not giving the money to spend, because in present football age now, you spend the money. When you spend the money, you get the result. When Chelsea was slow up and down, when they spend the money, change coach. Because when you continue hire coach and fire, you will get the result. At the same time, when you spread the money, you get your result. And present what happens in Arsenal now, I think it's not a team what someone can sit down and be looking at the eye. I wish the board and all Arsenal fans will come out and do something good to make Arsenal great again. And sir, and again, I want to see make comment concerning your presentation in KUFN. And I really appreciate since KUFN coming. I think to understand sport, you to make sport easy for someone to understand. And I really happy to always connect in every day that I connect to KUFN.
Okay.
I really happy and get the joy.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for the commendation. Okay, let's take two and look at the messages. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, go ahead. What's the name and where are you calling from?
Dan Chelsea.
Dan Chelsea.
Well done. Go on.
Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say a very big thank you to Chelsea. And
we can hear you.
From the beginning that the Chelsea is the one that will paint the hope red this season. So there should not be panic. I think we have 2 trophies in our collection this season, which is FA Cup and Champions League. And at Nancy.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask. The prediction is not him. So I think it's good one. For Real Madrid, they should take it easy with the Denaza. They should also know that Denaza is a former Chelsea player. And sometimes.
All right, I think we have to, allow you to go because the line is breaking. I can't hear you clearly. Let's take this and look at the SMS. Hello.
Hello, good evening. My name is Friday. I'm calling from Ramat Park.
Friday from Ramat Park. Okay, quickly.
Yeah. I just want to be happy with Villarreal because our opinion is so much. Yes, I'm praying for him. He wants to be the final winner of that competition. We need to have a good chance of Africa Footballer of the Year because I like the new style of play. You understand? That's why I thought. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right, let's look at the SMS.
Okay. Well, so many of them here. Let's see how many we can take. This one says, "Good day, sports. The two English clubs will make it to the final today, so that it will be London club versus two Manchester clubs." Peter, okay, maybe you were thinking about
maybe Arsenal will go through.
Yeah. So, but unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. Okay, let's see. This one says, "Good evening, KU FM. My name is Cinnamon from Wahil. I want to thank Chelsea for that victory." Okay. Good evening, sir. Where is Sanofe Daniel from Country Home Road? This one says, "Good evening, Oga Ibrahim and Egusa. First of all, I want to say a big congratulations to Chelsea for their successful semi-final. Please, what is Arsenal lineup? Maro Sars from 2 Uber." Okay, this message, yesterday we could not take them, so we said we'll keep them. But of course, we know that Arsenal lost. Good day, men of sports. I wish Chelsea to win Man City come May 29 from Nana Omashaye Paul from Coco Delta State. Oh, thank you. You can get us in Coco. He's asking, when was boxing a legal sport? Emmanuel from Abuja. Is boxing an illegal sport? Boxing is legal now. Okay. I think I remember now. There's one guy who called yesterday and was saying something, and we could not really hear him. Okay, that I think maybe that's what he was. The question that he was asking, that when, but boxing is not illegal as a sport. Except maybe I did not understand the question. Please, if you can resend the message, or the guy can send the message again, so that we understand exactly what he's saying. Good evening, guys. You are doing fantastic work. I'm listening on app, but it suddenly stopped. I can't hear you, so I switched to your YouTube. I'm listening live from Abuja. Man U will win as well as Arsenal. Tyson Fury is just boasting. Joshua will beat him. Emmanuel from Abuja. Okay, send this yesterday. Thank you. And please, if there's app stops, please refresh it, or go to the website, or you go to YouTube. You can also get us there. Thank you for using our online platforms. Oh, okay. Now, okay. The person actually sent the message. What I was trying to ask is, what year was boxing seen as a legal sport, or should I say an approved sport? And did it start with gloves, or it started with uncovered fists? Oh, it's even what's his name? Elvis that's asking this question. Elvis, will get back to that question, but let us look at some other ones. Well done, men of sport. As it is now, who are you expecting to see as world best contenders? Ike from Zelu. If I understand this correctly, I think he's talking about the individual players, those that we think will be in contention for World Footballer of the Year. Well, in Europe, they usually look at players in the teams that win the UEFA Champions League, or go verify in the UEFA Champions League. So you've got to look at some players from Manchester City, and maybe one player. I think N'Golo Kante will be in one of those. Kevin De Bruyne should be one of those. Phil Foden, I think, will win best young player. Definitely, I think he's going to win that. And you've also got to look at some of the guys that have really, in terms of goal scoring, what they've been able to achieve. Much as you may not want to hear this. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo had good goal scoring season, but though we know that by their standard, it's actually poor. Robert Lewandowski will still be among those that they are going to mention to be one of the contenders for the title. This is, when I said Chelsea eliminated Barcelona, I was talking about the 2012 semi-final, which means Chelsea have beaten the best clubs in Spanish football. Oh, okay. I understand now. Good evening, Oga Ibrahim Anegosa. I just want to congratulate Chelsea for making it through to the final of the UEFA Champions League, though I'm not particularly happy that they defeated my team, Real Madrid, to make it through, but they really played well yesterday to deserve a place in the final. The likes of Rudiger and Kante were phenomenal and outstanding. Better luck next time for Real Madrid, and I hope they can get back to winning ways. As regards the competition in the Champions League, all the best to the teams playing in the UEFA Europa League. Okay, this Hassan texting from University of Benin, Ugbawa. All right. Just remember, if United, Leicester and Chelsea or West Ham or Spurs grab the top 4 or 5 places, it will seriously impact Liverpool's revenues next season. NS from Sapler. That's if Liverpool does not make the top 4, their revenue will drop. Someone reminded me of Real Madrid.com yesterday. The way he was confident saying the UEFA Champions League is for Madrid got me thinking if he has already watched it before us. United I rep. I'm not sure you got Madrid.com well. He was saying that the Madrid are they've won it several times, so the competition belongs to them. But I think he said that this season I think I remember him saying that the gods of football have met and they've decided that it should be Chelsea. Yeah, that's what he actually said. He did not say Madrid was going to win it. He said, yeah, they are the owners of the competition, but they have won it several times. Yeah, now Chelsea has been anointed to win the competition. Good evening, men of sports. Oga Ibrahim is like, Kachi from PZ is an Arsenal fan, so Chelsea fans can't celebrate again. Oga Ibrahim, if Chelsea no win Champions League this season, come May 29, I promise Una 1,000 naira recharge card for all the sports crew. Musa from New Benin. You are saying if Chelsea no win, I don't understand. So you mean that if Chelsea loses, you will give 1,000 naira recharge card? I don't quite understand what you're saying. Or do you mean that if Chelsea wins? Okay. Good evening, sports crew. I want to see both the UEFA Champions League trophy and Europa League trophy go to the Manchester clubs. I pray it happens. DK the Prince from Upper Sakbomba. Good evening, please. I want to ask about Manchester United transfer news. Abdul Ghani by name. And there really is nothing. It's not transfer season yet. It's so what we will give you will be speculation, and we hear they are still interested in Jadon Sancho. So whether they will be able to get it, we hear that they are willing. Borussia Dortmund now willing to take 85 million. Last time they were telling Manchester United 108 million. Good evening, the Oba of Sports again. Oga Ibrahim, do you advise someone to be a Nigerian and also an Arsenal fan? Francis in Okada. What was that? There are many Nigerians that are Arsenal fans now. What do you mean by...
Okay, we can take one more and for signing out.
Okay, let's see. A repeated message there. Good PM, my 2 Ogas of Sport and the lady in the house. Chelsea will win against Manchester City this weekend to prepare them for the Champions League final on May 26. Sheriff from Aduawa. Okay, those are the messages.
Okay, those are the messages that we can take, and we don't have time because we have a news break coming up. in the next 2 or 3 minutes or thereabouts. So many thanks to you guys for being part of the show, and also we want to see that.
Sorry, there are still many more messages, so that's why we're unable to respond to some issues. But we'll leave these messages till tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have enough time
and respond to some of the inquiries.
All right, many thanks once again. And to my strike partners, many thanks to you guys for joining me on the show this evening. My name is Ewo Sagwe, the Sports Maestro, saying have a wonderful evening ahead, and bye-bye.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Beautiful advertisement. Thank you.
But was he approved by APCON before exposure?
APCON?
APCON is the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, the federal government advertising regulatory authority that vets and approves all adverts before they're exposed on radio, TV, billboard, any medium.
You mean it's the law?
Yes, sir. APCON is backed up by the law to vet all adverts to ensure they're not in bad taste. And there's a big penalty for non-compliance.
Call me our consultant now.
Get your advertisements vetted and approved by APCON before exposure. Call 0909 144 2787, 0811 562 4892, or visit www.apcon.gov.ng today for details on APCON offices nationwide.
Vacancy. A reputable hotel in Benin City, Edo State, has vacancies in the following positions: managers, accountants, auditors, storekeepers, supervisors, receptionists, waiters, waitresses, barmen, housekeepers, and cooks. Qualification for the position of managers, accountants, auditors, storekeepers, and supervisors must be a BSc or HND. While for other positions, relevant qualifications in the various disciplines should be submitted. Application should be submitted Number 15, Bawansa Crescent, Abuja Quarters, 2nd Ugbo, GRA, Benin City, or call 080-323-41760 on or before Tuesday, 11th May 2021. Signed, Management.
Rise up to the day's breakfast. Yummy. With Mama Do's bread for bread. Yummy. We love this rich and buttery taste. Yummy. We love to have it with our bread. Yummy. Nutritious. Mama Do's bread for bread. We like it. Mama Do's bread for bread. Delicious. Mama Do's bread for bread. We love it. Mama Do's bread for bread.
New Mama Do's bread for bread. It gives you the right nutrients and energy to be your best each new day. New Mama Do's bread for bread. Deliciously nourishing for a bright start.
Are you a business owner or recruiter? Do not miss the opportunity to find suitable candidates at the 4th edition of the Edo Job Fair, coming up on Tuesday, the 18th of May 2021. Time 10 a.m. This edition is virtual and job exhibition at the fair is free. For registration and inquiries, please visit www.edojobs.careers/virtual job fair or call 0902-7465-864. This event is brought to you by Edo Jobs and GIZ Sky.
We have said it before. We will still say it again.
Beware of human traffickers and smugglers who encourage irregular migration.
Beware of offers of jobs in Europe.
Beware of stories of getting rich quick once in Europe.
Beware of stories of opportunities to become international model, football star, actor, actress, or singer in Europe.
Note, there is no easy way to making it big except crime.
And if you are caught, you will go in for it.
Europe is no Eldorado.
Nobody picks money on the street. If you must travel,
do it the right way.
Say no to desert travel.
Say no to crossing the sea to Europe.
Don't be deceived.
Many have died in the desert, sea, or even prison.
Say no to human trafficking. Say no to irregular migration.
This message is brought to you by the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation, Action Aid, Vides, and Salesians of Don Bosco, Nigeria.
92.7 KUFM. 92.7 KUFM News. Concise, precise, balanced, unbiased.
We are live from Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM Newsbreak.
Good evening and welcome to Newsbreak on KU 92.7 FM, Benin City. First, the headlines. Edo State governments to rehabilitate Ogida Police Training School. Supreme Court declares dissolution of Oyo local government chairman illegal after 2 years. Nigeria Immigration Service rescues 10 victims of human trafficking in Katsina. On entertainment, Childish Gambino sued over This Is America copying claim. Details of this and more after this break. I'm Benjamin Kadiri. Welcome back. Now the news in detail. Schools in Edo State are to resume academic activities for the third term calendar on Monday, May 10th, 2021. The resumption was communicated in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary, Edo State Ministry of Education, Stella Maris Imasuen, on Friday. The statement therefore directed all schools in Oredu, Ego, and Ikpobaoka local government areas that were operating morning and afternoon sessions to revert to the normal time of 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. School heads and proprietors have equally been directed to ensure compliance with the COVID-19 protocols, while all frontline workers and teachers are to compulsorily vaccinate against the virus. Edo State government is set to refurbish Ogida Police Training School, Benin City, to provide training support for police and other security men and women in the state. Governor Godwin Obaseki disclosed this on Thursday after inspecting the state of the facility located at Ogida Quarters, Benin City. Chinedu Ikeja has more.
Ogida Police Training School in Benin City is one of the 28 police training facilities across the country through which the Nigeria Police Training Department carries out its training functions. But like many of these institutions, they've been rendered almost useless due to several years of neglect and abandonment due to inability of the federal government to fund its maintenance. But as the conversation continues to tilt towards localizing security, Edo State government has found in Ogida Training School a good option to enhance the competence and capacities of not just the men of the Nigeria Police Force in Edo State, but others from the state-owned security architecture.
We are fortunate that we already have a facility in the states to train policemen. We've been in touch with police headquarters and have agreed that the state government will intervene in upgrading and improving the training facilities here so that it will be made available not only training policemen but other members of the security architecture which we are redesigning. So we will have a permanent training facility for up to 5 or 6 squads at a time that will be given training, introductory training in security, intermediate and advanced training at different levels.
But this dream cannot be achieved with the facility being in the state of disrepair.
That's why we have come in to do an evaluation, an assessment ourselves. The clinic, for instance, needs to be rehabilitated and re-equipped. The hostels need to be rebuilt and equipped for decent habitation. The classrooms need to be rebuilt, and the training grounds with the obstacles also need to be upgraded and repaired. The state government are very concerned about the state of the security system, but we can't leave it to the federal government alone. Security is everybody's concern. We have decided to put our money where our mouth is and use what we have to try and solve our problem.
The Commissioner of Police in Edo State, Philip Obadu, considers this intervention as a relief and timely.
As a police force, we are happy that some of these facilities are going to be upgraded. It will be easier for us to carry out refresher courses and trainings here. And also for other security outfits that will come and benefit from it. It is an added advantage.
Founded in the 70s, the Ogida Police Training School is one of the only 2 in the South Nigeria after the one in Calabar, Cross River State. Chinedu Ikeja, KUFM News.
Some maritime stakeholders in Lagos on Friday backed the federal government's suspension of the managing director of the Nigeria Ports Authority, saying it had the right to hire and fire anyone in its establishment. The stakeholders were reacting to the suspension of the managing director of Nigerian Ports Authority, Adiza Bala Usman, on May 6th by President Muhammadu Buhari to pave the way for an administrative inquiry of the NPA management. The president's spokesman, Malam Garba Shehu, on Thursday announced the approval of the recommendation of the Ministry of Transportation under Rotimi Amechi for an administrative panel of inquiry on the NPA management, as well as the suspension of the managing director. Similarly, Shehu also announced the appointment of Mohamed Kuku as acting managing director of the NPA, pending the completion of the investigation by the panel, to be headed by a director. The panel is to be headed by the Director, Maritime Services of the Ministry, while the Deputy Director, Legal of the Ministry, will serve as Secretary. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics has vowed to continue its indefinite strike until the federal government meets its demands. ASUP had on April 6 embarked on a nationwide strike. The ASUP National President, Anderson Ezeibe, made the union's position known on Friday at an emergency congress held at the Federal Polytechnic, Auchi, in Edo. Among the demands of the union are implementation of the ASUP federal government agreement of 2010 and payment of salaries and arrears of the new minimum wage in some state-owned polytechnics. Others are implementation of the needs assessment report of 2014 and reconstitution of governing councils of polytechnics. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has sacked all the local government chairpersons in the state and appointed caretaker chairmen. The Supreme Court on Friday declared the dissolution of the local government councils as illegal. The Apex Court, in its ruling, also declared the replacement of the council chairmen with caretaker committees as unlawful. Reacting to the ruling, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, hailed the judgment, saying the judgment was a landmark achievement in the present government's hard work to deepen democracy at the grassroots. The Supreme Court on Friday affirmed the powers of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to deregister underperforming political parties in the country. Consequently, the Apex Court, in a unanimous decision by a 5-man panel of justices, dismissed as lacking in merit an appeal the National Unity Party, NUP, filed to challenge its deregistration by INEC. The Apex Court panel, which delivered the judgment in a virtual proceeding that was led by Justice Mary Odili, said it found no reason to set aside the concurrent findings of the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal, which had earlier upheld INEC's decision to deregister some political parties. The NUP, which was dissatisfied with INEC's decision, subsequently lost its bid to be relisted as a political party by both the High Court and the Court of Appeal. It therefore dismissed NUP's appeal and ordered parties in the matter to bear their litigation cost. The Ondo State Office of the Independent National Electoral Commission on Friday said it had created more polling units across the 18 local government areas of the state ahead of the 2023 general election. The Commission specifically said it had created additional 924 polling units, which had increased the polling units in the states to 3,933. The state's resident electoral commissioner, Rufus Akeju, said this at a stakeholder meeting for the implementation of the expansion of voter access to polling units in Nigeria. The REC explained that the commission arrived at the figure by converting existing voting points that meets the minimum threshold of 750 or a maximum of 1,000 voters per polling unit. According to him, the commission had received numerous letters from voters complaining of being disenfranchised due to the far distance of the polling units of their location. Akeju also noted that the decline in voter turnout in the last 4 electoral cycles could be because voters have to trek long distances to access their polling units. The REC stressed that with the latest development, the increased polling units will be available for the 1,822,346 voting population of the state. The Independent National Electoral Commission will conduct a by-election for the Gwaram Federal Constituency of Jigawa State on June 19. INEC Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, disclosed this via a statement issued on Friday. He said the decision to conduct the exercise followed the death of the former holder of the office, Yuguda Kila, on March 4, in which the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, declared the seat vacant. Okoye also directed political parties to submit the names of their polling agents for the election to the INEC electoral officer for Gwaram local government area on or before June 1st, 2021, noting that campaigns would end on June 17. While noting that the detailed timetable and schedule of activities for the by-election has been uploaded on the Commission's website and other social media platforms, he asked political parties to abide by Section 87 of the Electoral Act relating to the nomination processes. The Katsina Command of the Nigerian Immigration Service has rescued 10 victims of human trafficking. The victims are Austin Nani, Otto Happiness, Eyintu Oluwa, Adelola, Adam Zainab, Jamilu Zainab, amongst others. The NIS Comptroller for Katsina, Abdulrazak Muazu, confirmed the development to newsmen on Friday. He said the 10 victims, who were from Lagos, Delta, and Edo, were picked up at Baban Mutun axis of the border post. Muazu believed the victims must have been missiled by the human traffickers. According to him, the victims will be handed over to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons for further investigation, counseling, training, rehabilitation, and prosecution as the case may be. Coming up in a moment on our entertainment news, Childish Gambino sued over This Is America copying claim. You're still on to Newsbreak on K92.7 FM, Benin City. On entertainment, Nigerian music star David Adeleke, also known as Davido, has gotten a Range Rover SUV for his daughter for her birthday. The music star took to his Instagram page on Thursday, where he shared a video of excited Imade and a new car. Imade is Davido's first daughter with former partner Sophia Momodu. She was born in 2015. American rapper and actor Donald Glover, with stage name Childish Gambino, is being sued over claims he stole the song This Is America from another rapper. According to reports, Emelike Nwosuocha, who performs under the name Kid West, alleged that Gambino's hit is a ripoff of his own song Made in America, which is said to have first been released on SoundCloud in late 2016 and on YouTube a couple months later. The rapper also claimed he registered the song with the United States Copyright Office in May 2017, and it was set to be the lead single on his upcoming album. According to court documents, West alleges the hook of Gambino's song is unmistakably similar, if not practically identical to his song. Childish Gambino released the track This Is America in 2018. It went on to top the Billboard Hot 100 and earned 4 Grammys, including Song of the Year and Best Music Video. And that's the news, but before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Edo State government will rehabilitate Ogida Police Training School. Supreme Court declares dissolution of Oyo local government chairman illegal after 2 years. Nigeria Immigration Service rescues 10 victims of human trafficking in Katsina. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at kufm.net or download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We're also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria. KUFM Newsbreak was produced by Blessing Asekome. I am Benjamin Kadiri, saying thanks for listening. Good evening.
Wake up every day don't need motivation.